Hello, I'm Carl Boyles, and welcome to On the Trail with Big Chief Yellowfoot. For those of you that don't know me, I serve as the Director of Support Service for the Lake Erie Council. And over my time here with the Council, I've served in many different roles or different functions. And one of them that I loved was being Camp Director of Beaumont Scout Reservation. And before I did that, I had the opportunity to serve at many different outdoor adventure type places. And we'll talk about that later, but one of my favorite things to do, especially now that we're home, is to learn about adventures that we can do at home. And we're lucky in the Boy Scouts of America to have a great magazine. Right here I have the March issue of Boys Life magazine. And inside of it are great adventures that we can go experience at our home. And the first one I'd like to talk about is on page 8. And later, when this video is over, you'll see in the comment section below a posting where you can go and see Boys Life magazines virtually online. So this talks about the must-see museums. And some of them are the Jello Gallery Museum or the National Mustard Museum. Well, think about all the opportunities we have in Northeast Ohio. Just a little while, just away from my house, down in University Circle, we have world-class museums like the Cleveland Museum of Art, the Western Reserve Historical Society, the Natural History Museum, even the Botanical Gardens. Great museums. So I encourage you, when this is over, to go visit those great locations, those museums, because they're also partners with us. But also to take an opportunity and explore what these museums have at Boys Life, and to visit each of those museums that I just mentioned, like the Cleveland Art Museum, online. They have a great virtual tour, and you can spend many hours exploring the museum while you're at home during our extended stay. A little bit later in this book, in this magazine, on page 18, we talk about dolphins. And this is a phenomenal article that talks about the Dolphin Research Center in the Florida Keys. Now, for those older scouts and venturers, you might someday get the opportunity to visit the Florida National High Adventure Sea Base. We have 2 locations of the sea base. One of them is up at mile marker 74, and the other, and that's the main base. The other sea base, the other part of the sea base, is the Britton Environmental Center, located down at mile marker 25. And near the Britton Environmental Center is the Dolphin Research Center, which is the basis of this article. When you visit the Florida Keys and our National High Adventure bases there, plan on spending some extra time just down there, because it's so much more stuff than you could ever imagine. So much environmental stuff, so much aquatic activity, so much history of America, just packed into those small islands that stretch from southern Florida all the way to Key West. Also on this, another great article about Florida Sea Base. And if you ever get a chance to visit, and again, I highly recommend you do, they have a unique program at the Britton Environmental Center specializing in saving the coral reef. And in this article over on page 31, it talks that coral is dying in the Florida Keys. Disease and heat stress have killed 60% of the coral there over the past couple of years. And the sea base has partnered to have scouts help rebuild that coral. It's a fascinating process. Go to their website. It's a great STEM project. You can learn more about it. But really, when you go down there for your own adventure, think about visiting that part of the program and really participating in it. Next, we go on to page 22. And page 22 gives you a snapshot of camps all throughout the United States. This is really the time of year we start thinking about summer camp. If you haven't already, I've been thinking about summer camp for months. And recently we've had to have some postponements, and we're hoping that our weekend camping programs at our 3 properties open back up on May 8th. However, our program team is planning right now to execute a great summer camp season at Beaumont Scout Reservation for the Scouts BSA team and at Fireland Scout Reservation for our Cub Scout activities. And apologize, there's also a Cub Scout adventure camp out at Beaumont Scout Reservation this summer. So we have a full summer of activities planned for you right here in Lake Erie Council. And along with numerous weekend activities that are going to be happening, and one of my favorite activities that happens during the week of 4th of July, this year on July 3rd, Red, White, and Boom out at Beaumont Scout Reservation. If you want to have a great day of activities, a great afternoon of activities, of fun family-centered activities and events, then go head out to Beaumont this summer for Red, White, and Boom. We cap it off with a great fireworks show. Lasts a little over half an hour. It's shot over Lake Klein. It's great. So let's start thinking about the summer camps. A lot of great opportunities happening this summer, and after being home for a few weeks, I'm sure all of us will want to get back out and visit our camps, get back out on the trail. So cruise through Boy's Life. It'll give you some great ideas about what's happening around the country at other camps. And remember, at our 2 summer camp programs, we offer things that aren't offered anywhere else. Just for instance, if you go out to Beaumont, the Sizzler, very unique opportunity to zip line over other lakes. 1,045 feet zip line. You have the bouquet corral. You have a lot of really cool activities. Out at Firelands, Jared and his team do a great job of offering Webelos and Cub Scout adventures all summer long. Next on page 30, a really, really cool article that talks about how to find good campsites and not to make them. So many times when we go out hiking into the wilderness, we find what we would think of as the perfect campsite. But maybe it's never been used before. That's not ideally. As Jared talked the other night, that's really not Leave No Trace friendly. It's not something we want to do. What we really want to do is find a great campsite and use it. So here are some qualities about finding a great campsite. Or not finding a great campsite, don't make them. Skip making a campfire unless you can remove all traces before you leave. In popular areas, travel on existing trails and use established campsites when you can. Walk in a single file in the middle of the trail to prevent widening the route. Keep campsites small. Focus on your activities in clearings where there already isn't much vegetation. Just a few hints. And if you tuned into the Leave No Trace program a few days ago, these are all things that you've already learned. On the last page of Boy's Life for this month, a great article about the Polaris Ride Safe ATV program. So for scouts and venturers over the age of 14, these are programs you can take part in out of Beaumont Scout Reservation. If you've ever wanted to learn to drive an ATV, we offer a great program out there where you can learn how to safely do it, you learn how to turn, you learn how to go up hills, everything. And it's this program designed specifically with young riders in mind. It has great instructors. We've been teaching it for years. Really, really fun. As I mentioned earlier, on Friday, May 8th, we hope to reopen our camping programs. If you haven't already seen what we're offering this spring, I really encourage you to look at the Lake Erie Council calendar. Plan out an adventure for late May, early summer. And if you haven't already made your plans for a resident camp this summer, please do so. The summer is going to be full of excitement and full of adventure. Next week at 5:30 on the trail with Big Chief, I have the distinct opportunity to interview Evan Rijwalski and Joe Wallet. Evan is our lodge chief for the Erie Lahan Lodge, of the Order of the Arrow, and Mr. Wallet is the Lodge Advisor. And for those of you that don't know much about the Order of the Arrow, this is an opportunity for you to tune in and hear about the history of the Order of the Arrow, what our lodge is doing, and what are the next few steps that we're going to be seeing over the next couple months of how the Erie Lahan Lodge offers unique programs to the Scouts of Lake Erie Council. So wrapping this up, as we're all at home and looking for our own adventures, take an opportunity to read the current issue of Boy's Life, or use the link to go back and explore past issues of Boy's Life. Boy's Life is an opportunity for you to go around the world to see what Eagle Scouts and Scouts are doing in different countries, to explore caving, scuba diving, everything that you've always wanted to see. It brings scouting to life. It's pages of adventure. Take this time, enjoy, maybe develop a reading, a love of reading that I have. You'll treasure it forever. In Boy's Life, you don't get a better magazine than that. I look forward to seeing you next week, and I can't wait to see you out on the trail this summer. Signing off from Lake Erie Council, have a great day.